friends. Welcome back to
Wish You Love Podcast.
I'm Marilyn.
And I'm Jazmine.
And we are back with a part 2 of the tell all of my engagement. But this time, this is going to be about the message.
Yes. If you haven't already, make sure you check out last episode drop where Marilyn really deep dived into the tell all story. It was really fun. It was really special. You got to hear 3 different points, POVs, which was really fun just to kind of hear and like talk about what we were all feeling or thinking and what was happening that day. So please make sure you check that out if you haven't already. And if you already checked it out, I'm happy to,
have you back.
Yeah,
for the part 2. Yeah. This is our first ever part 2. It was a long combo. But yeah. I love all wedding stuff. Pretty Basic Podcast as well has somebody on there that's getting married, and I just love listening to it, even when I wasn't engaged, because it was so interesting, all the intricate parts of that preparing and all that stuff.
It's truly such a journey.
Culture and journey. It even has different lingo, a lot of, it's a whole experience, life experience for sure. Yeah. But we wanted to start off this episode by talking about our songs of the moment. So Jazmine, can you go first?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So right now, this is going to be really silly, y'all, but my songs-ish, I guess, I'm doing it really broad for this answer, but it's really all Disney Channel music. That is my genre songs of the moment, like Ordinary Girl by Hannah Montana, This Is What Dreams Are Made Of, Hilary Duff. That is really my vibe lately. Let me share context though.
Literally, I was looking up Disney songs too. I just showed her if we were
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but for context, the reason why I'm doing that is because Angel and I are doing a Disney Channel segment in our wedding. So we're going to be doing
so fun. I love that he was a Disney kid.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So we're in the midst of kind of creating that playlist, or at least the order of the music that we want it to be. And so it's been kind of the vibe lately, because
that's what you're
re-listening, researching, and being this is gonna get everyone singing, or this is the one that everyone's gonna dance to and stuff. So that's been my vibe. It's all Disney Channel music and just creating that playlist.
I love
for that segment that we're adding in.
I love. Her wedding is going to be so exciting. My fiance was not a Disney kid, sadly. He was a Cartoon Network kid. He looked like a Cartoon Network kid. But when we do karaoke, it's so fun that Angel knows the High School Musical songs. It's so nice. Because that was an era. Disney Channel, that was my... I loved Disney Channel.
And the reason why we think this is so dope, we have to do it, is because I think a good percentage of our guests were all the same age. So it's almost it's going to be oh my God.
That is our nostalgia.
Go and start dancing and singing. Yeah. So it's we're so excited. And,
heck yeah.
Even the timing, we're trying to find the perfect time where people are not drunk, but on a good one. Post nerves, post intro, entrances
now
and
it's just
stuff
time
like that.
Enjoy.
Now it's just time to
Have
enjoy.
Fun.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What about you, Marilyn?
You know how so funny. Okay, I'm gonna give you my real answer and then the answer I want to give you. Okay, so my real, because this segment is songs that you're listening to a lot and songs that you have on replay. That's what our segment's about. So the realness of it is I've been listening to Playboi Carti's new song, Good Credit, with Kendrick Lamar. Oh my gosh. That song with Family Ties right after, when I'm running. So that is my jam right now. We were listening to it on our way home from looking at a venue yesterday, and I was like, dude, I want to go work out. I want to go run right now. That's my, it's so good. So if you haven't listened to it, that's my song right now. But of course, as of right now, I have been listening to more worship music to thank God for everything. More oldies, because they're love songs, so I love oldies. And as well, the Going to the Chapel and Today I Met the Boy I'm Gonna Marry.
I don't know that one.
Oh my gosh. That one's from one of my favorite childhood movies that me and my mom used to watch, Father of the Bride. And so I've been listening to a lot of those songs too that have been getting me emotional because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting married. Like, so those are like some honorable mentions that I want to give y'all because like this is my bridal era now. So I am listening to love songs. I don't just listen to Kendrick all the time. Yeah. But the Kendrick, The Good Credit is the song that I've been putting on replay.
Like, side question. No. Yeah. Kendrick's this month, April, right?
No, May.
May. Okay. Yes. So next month. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So you still got to keep him around.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one, you have to because that's your artist. But two, because it's coming close.
Yes. Yeah. I love him. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking too, like, I'm over here listening to like Kendrick, like whacked out murals. I'm like, should be listening to like more like wedding songs. Although I have been listening to more Sabrina Carpenter lately because it is more like lovey, like Juno and things like that. Like, so I have been listening to her a lot more. And my Kendrick levels have been going a little down, but he's still up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
I've been listening to more like lovey songs or like Disney.
A little mix. Yeah.
Mix of everything. Yeah. But for just a song on replay, Good Credit is my song on replay. Yeah.
Good Credit. Okay.
Good Credit. Yeah.
Cool. I was going to say I'll check it out, but I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. Playboy Party.
Rap, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Marilyn always hypes up Kendrick on a treadmill, so we'll see. I was like, maybe I'll like test it just to see. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so that's my song of the moment and her song of the moment, which I love because I was just showing her my phone. Like I've been researching for another reason, but it involves like wedding too. I'm not going to do what you're doing, so don't worry. But like, it's for something else. Yeah. But same thing, like of nostalgia for the girls. You know, the girlies get it.
Yeah, I love that.
Wait. Side note, what was your girl? Oh, wait, you told me. Was it Miley? Selena? Who was your like girl when you were like watching Disney Channel? Like, you know, like Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez. Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like I really liked Vanessa Hudgens.
Okay.
Between her and Miley number Cyrus.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So I had like a flip of two actually too. Because like High School Musical was kind of like the beginning. And then like the pop stars kind of overshined. Yeah. After. Yeah.
Demi, so mine was Miley, Selena.
Yeah. So mine was actually Ashley Tisdale. And everybody kept calling me Vanessa Hudgens. I'm like, no, I'm Sharpay.
I'm Sharpay.
I even named my dog Sharpay, Solomon's mom.
Oh yeah. You did tell me that.
Pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ashley Tisdale, I support, and I was like a crazy fangirl when I was little. I had like posters of her, I had the Barbie, I had the microphone, like everything Sharpay. And then after that, when Camp Rock came out, that had me in a chokehold. So Demi Lovato was my it for like a long time. Long time.
You know, it's funny, Camp Rock, as I go through these songs and I'm sharing with Angel, because I'm like waiting for his input to what he thinks. I haven't gotten to Camp Rock. Yeah. And he was like, where's Camp Rock? And I was just like, well, I'm not there yet. Like,
let's go through the timeline.
Yeah, I'm like, we're not just there. On High School Musical. And
Cheetah Girls?
Cheetah Girls. Yes. And Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana,
Jonas
High School Musical, Jonas Brothers, and Cheetah Girls. I haven't gotten like there yet, but it's so funny because he literally said the same thing. Maybe it's because you guys both sing, so it's like you get it.
That was a singing movie.
Yeah,
like it was like the shy girl that like nobody noticed, but she has a voice to share.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, just
everybody's like,
I was like, okay. We're gonna get there, bro. Like, give me a second.
Ciao. Yeah. I love that. It's so funny.
Okay. Well, we're gonna jump into part 2 of the message that Marilyn's gonna share with us today. So let's get to it.
Okay. So I actually wrote this I didn't write this while I was driving, but I had like the voice to audio while I was driving. So I'm going to read it from my phone because I did have a message to share and like I'm excited to hear what Jazmine has to say, and I hope that this really applies to your life, and especially young girls out there, or even if you're older and you just haven't found your person, this message is for you. So I put, trusting in your divine path of finding the love of your life. Throughout my love life journey, I was constantly praying and hoping for certain relationships to work out. But now being able to step back and look at that love journey of like when my first boyfriend from when I was like, 15 years old, all the way into my last boyfriend, which is Anthony. I got with him when I was 20 years old. And although that timeline is a very short timeline, but when you're young, it feels long. So being able to step back and look at that love journey and seeing where it got me today to finding my fiance and soon to be a husband, and seeing how every person that I had experienced in my life led me to this moment of seeing what I don't like, seeing what I do like, and trusting in that whatever happens is for my best benefit. And I think oftentimes, especially young adults or even teenagers, or even honestly just regular adults, they're with people who they keep praying that it's going to get better and they hope change is going to happen, but nothing ever happens. And life passes you by and you never actually get to experience true love. When I first met Anthony and I experienced his love, it was different. And I remember crying to him and telling him, I wish everyone could have what I have. And that was because I know that not everyone experiences this type of unconditional love. And so today I wanted to talk about trusting in your defined path and being okay with breakups and being okay with just drifting apart and being okay with being alone sometimes, because although those are very hard moments, especially during your developmental years, like a teenager to young adult, where that may feel like the end of the world or may feel like it will never get better, I promise you that it will, and your person is waiting for you. But if you get stuck with somebody that doesn't treat you right and that most definitely is not your person, you might miss out on a chance of forever being with your person. So I just wanted to talk about that because I know a lot of young girls and even young boys want relationships just to work so badly sometimes. And you think, no, he's my person. I've already invested at that point 2 years. And they think, or even when you're married, or you're not even married, but you've been with a guy or a girl for years and you have kids already, but you guys are both miserable. And sometimes it's okay to walk away. And I'm not saying to get a divorce on just because you're bored, but I'm saying, especially let's take marriage out of this because that is more complicated. But what I more so wanted to talk about is when you're young and when you're dating people, it's important to be okay to let people go. Because I know somebody in my life who has expressed to me that they never experienced true love. They never experienced what I have with Anthony, and that makes me sad because they're old now and now they're at the end of their life, and to think that they've never experienced love and kindness from a man and true care and what that feels like makes me sad. And I really wanted to talk about this because of the importance of choosing your person, because this, although planning for a wedding is so exciting and all that stuff, but if he wasn't the right person, this wouldn't be okay. It's not just a party. It's not just having fun, although it is, but this is a lifelong commitment. And me and him, and I know you talked to Angel about this too, of like, we're never divorcing. Like, I will never, if I'm bored of you or I think I can do better, I'm never divorcing you. And Jazmine talked to me too about, only if like abuse or infidelity is involved. But we know our people. We've been with them for many years now. For me, almost a decade, reaching there. And no abuse. Thank you, Jesus. No infidelity ever. And so it's important to, if that is happening, and you may think to yourself, I've been with this guy for 8 years. You're not married. No kids. And I've been with him for 8 years now and no ring. And he's kind of mean to me. And I'm just not happy, but you're like, but I've wasted 8 years. But if you really put it in the grand scheme of things but you have like 50 years ahead of you. And do you really want to feel what you felt in the 8 years, all 58 years or however long you live? It's not worth it. And it's important to be okay with letting go. So yeah.
Wow, I have a lot of thoughts in my mind about this topic and this conversation. I think You're so right. This is something really good to take some time and reflect on. I think, like you said, as teenagers, if there's anyone here listening that are maybe in high school or, you know, early, like just graduated, that are thinking, you know, going through a relationship or thinking, you know, I'm not finding that person, or even people who I know in my life who are in their mid 20s, early 30s, where sometimes I feel like they think time is running out. But I know like a lot of people around my age or in my circle, I can name quite a few. It's really sad because I don't know if it's society or it's just them thinking, because we're at an age right now where I think marriage is becoming like, it's happening, right? Like this is the time where ideally or typically most people tend to finally like either like finally move in with their partners, or they finally decide to like get that next step of like engagement or marriage. And so, you know, I think this is important to really take some time to reflect, because there's no rush, or there's no, just because people around you are ready to take that chapter, that, you know, perhaps, you know, are blessed enough to finally say, okay, I found my person, like this is it, like I'm ready to. That doesn't mean you should just settle or rush into it, because there's so much beauty in like finding your person, like your real true person, that kind of like what you said, like it would be so sad or a waste to just finally just say, well, I'm just going to settle here, or I'm just going to take the first person that comes into my life or that's interested in me or that we somewhat click. Because you are truly not only taking the beauty from yourself, but from the actual relationship itself. Because there is truly so much beauty, you guys, in terms of like finding that one person. And it does come. Like it comes with time, and it comes with God's grace, and it comes with just you really knowing what you want and what you like, and who that person that you want ideally would be like. And I'm not talking like to the T, because I also know my some girlfriends where they're like, I'm not dating them if they're not over 6 feet, or I'm not dating them if they don't have colored eyes. Like, now I'm not talking about characteristics wise. I'm talking about values and like who they are as a person above anything else. Because the eyes and the height truly don't matter. What matters more is the heart. The values that you guys bring to each other, the level of respect that you guys have for one another. Like those are the true beauty of a relationship, and of saying like, this is my person, not anything else. And so I think this is a really good conversation. So me personally, like I'm challenging and targeting anyone on here that's listening that, you know, maybe you're in your mid 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, like do not feel like society or those around you are rushing you to settle, to get married, to just get in a relationship. Because like what Marilyn said, like the wedding is so fun, but that's just a one-day thing. Like that's going to be done in like before you know it. Like there's beauty in that as well, but the main foundation and the main thing that matters is really like, who is that person that you are choosing to say, this is my person for the rest of my life, or this is the person you're dating for marriage, right? To spend the rest of your life with. And so, I think this is a really, really good message. And for anyone, like I said, anyone listening through those age ranges, really take some time to think about who you're with right now, and what type of values, respect, and love do they bring to the table and to you, and for you, I guess I should say. Like, who are they, and is that really who you want to be with when you look back years from now? Just don't feel like I'm not going to find better, or it's going to be too late, or any of that. Because I think you said this, Marilyn, like you are only cheating yourself at that point from finding your real, true person, love of your life.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think of like a lot of younger girls, and I've experienced this, I'm sure you have too, of just like wanting a relationship to work so bad with a guy, but he's like could care less about you. And it's because, you know, either insecurity or loneliness, or, you know, you think that he's the right person, but if he's showing you that he doesn't care, if he only hangs out with you at like 2 a.m. or he only wants to see you when it's convenient for him, or when he sees you he only wants one thing, or like when, you know, there's so many things to take note as a young girl, and maybe those things make you feel special in the moment. But if you really think, is that something that God wants for me? Does he want me to be with somebody that only wants to see me for one thing? Does he want me to be with somebody that doesn't even care to take me on a date? Does he want me to be with somebody who talks to me disrespectfully, who treats me like I'm trash? Like, when you talk about it like that, it really puts into perspective of like, no, I deserve better. He deserves who he's looking for, because clearly I'm not it, you know? And it just, I really want to stress that. And especially even the women who are older, who get divorced or separate with the partner for a long time and they never got married and they jump into another relationship. There's a beauty in being single. There's a beauty in that waiting period, because oftentimes, more than not, if you find somebody literally after your divorce, or if you find somebody after you broke up, they're usually not it. They're not the person, because you're just trying to look for a quick fix of a sad feeling. And so it's important to be in those feelings of being alone and finding yourself, because in order to do that, that's how you find your correct person. Because if you don't even know who you are, how are you supposed to know what you're looking for? And when I was single and I was looking for my soulmate, my prince, I remember, you know, praying about what I wanted. And maybe you guys can journal, what do you want in a man? And it could be looks, and as well like what he believes, and as well like what kind of personality. I think it's super important, because when I said my list, when I prayed for my list, almost all of them were hit. The vegetarian was not hit, and just being able to sing was not hit, but all the other really important
little things that
were he did tell me that he sang, which he lied though in the beginning. He said he sang, which is kind of funny now. But yeah, I think it's important to like sit down and think about what do you want? What do you want your life to look like?
I also want to share, now targeting our younger audience, right? I'm thinking about young Jazmine, like high school Jazmine, getting personal here and sharing a little bit about me. My fiance's my first official like boyfriend. Wow. So that's a fun fact. I dated, but I never had like a boyfriend that I would bring to the family, or that like my parents were aware of.
It only counts if you bring it to the family.
Yeah, like that's everything else was like boyfriend or situationship. But like, no, it was never like that.
That's the only time it counts. If they meet your mom or dad, that's a boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah. And for anyone, like I said, who's young, you know, in the young time of their lives, I didn't bring him home until I was 21.
And that's young. But for them, that seems older.
Right. But I remember Jazmine, when she was like 15, was like, oh, I'm never going to bring someone. Like, nothing's working. Like, or no one's clicking with me. Or like, oh my gosh, like everyone's has a real boyfriend by like, I think at that time, like 13, like he's like, oh, this is my boyfriend, or 14, like you were a freshman, like you had boyfriends. And so I remember there is that feeling of like, am I not good enough? Or like, who do I get? Or like, I just want someone to like me, or I just want to have a boyfriend. But there is that beauty of just dating and just waiting to see like who ends up being the real one. And like Jazmine now is like, oh my God, like I'm so happy. Like I brought him, and he's the one that's sticking around for the rest of my life, because there was beauty in dating in between before Angel. And I think that's also your opportunity to pray and figure out those values and the things that you want in a man. And like, before I started dating Angel, like I was so hung up on this one guy. Like I was determined he was like my person.
I
like,
had a similar experience.
Like I was like, oh, this is it. Like, you know, he's it. Like he has everything I wanted, anything that I like thought of.
Yeah.
And like now, like fast forward to now, especially seeing like
where he's
his
at
life and where he's at, and like reflecting now on the things he used to do to me, and like seeing how Angel responds to those things or what he does to me. Like it really does like trust timing and trust God that like it makes sense why these don't work or why it's okay to walk away.
Be okay with leaving. It's okay.
And still find the beauty in it. Like if you've been
and all that
in a relationship with someone, I know Marilyn, you were saying like 8-year relationship. That's a long time. And I get it. Like maybe in your mind it's like, but I've been with him since I was a freshman in high school. Or maybe it's like, but all this time has gone by. Like I don't want to start all over again. But really it's like, find the beauty of like, dang, like it's been a long time, but I've learned so much, and I know that there's more for me out there. Like this is just not my person, but
that's okay.
But I'm grateful for the 8 years that I've learned and that, you know, the possibility of love that was there.
Right.
And just be okay with knowing like it will come. Whether that's not until you have your first boyfriend when you're 24, maybe, or whether that's leaving and starting all over. Yeah, just have that. What was the message? The
trusting in your divine path.
Yes, that trust.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think when you stop looking for it, that's like kind of when it happens. That's mine and Anthony's experience. He literally told me he was praying so much to find his wife, and he was just like, I'm over it. This is too much. And he said right when he stopped trying, he met me. So, and I had a similar experience where I was just like, I had to open my heart. So I was dating a bunch of people, not a bunch, but like a bunch. And I was just like, I knew what I wanted, and I just knew he was out there somewhere. And so I think that it's exciting to see. And for the people, let's start from the children, the teenagers, and going up to like 21, I think. From young teenager to like 21 is like the pivotal developmental time period of trying to find your person. And that is important for a lot of teenagers and stuff like that. I was the opposite of Jazmine. I had a lot of boyfriends in high school. Like I had my first boyfriend, then I had a boyfriend after that who was a rebound of the first one. And then after that, I had another one. And then this was like, I had Anthony. But so I had 4 boyfriends in total, but they've all taught me something. And if I were to see them down the street, I wouldn't have any hatred towards any of them. I was able to see the beauty in every situation, seeing what I liked, seeing what I didn't like, you know. And I have a similar story of like how being hung up on a certain guy, being hung up on, no, he is my person. It's just, he needs to realize it. Like he'll come back, like, you know, of all these things. And like, if he left in the first place, my love, then you weren't the one, and that's okay. And being okay with when you're young, breaking up with somebody. And just because you break up, there are instances where people do get back together, but instead of trying to seek him, seek yourself, seek God. Date yourself. That is something really important too, of being okay with going out to eat by yourself, treating yourself to a spa day, treating yourself to like things that you wish you can do with your partner, but for now, he's not here. He's being prepared for me. And so I'm going to still love me, and I'm going to still do things that we'll do in the future. But right now, all I got is me. And so I'm going to take care of me. It's better to be in good company than bad company. And that's really, really important, because sometimes these guys, like I said, only want one thing. And thank you, Jesus, for always protecting me. But I know, sadly, a lot of girls get into situations that are dangerous. And so that's why I really wanted to share this message of like, because sometimes girls can get trapped very young and they have kids and life just keeps going and going and going and going. And then they realize they're in their 40s, like, where was my life? Where are my friends? Where I didn't travel. I didn't do anything. And then they have resentment towards the kids. And it's just like a whole trickle effect of the importance of your person and making sure that you pick the right person. That's like that saying, happy wife, happy life. Same thing with your husband. If you guys are both not in love, then it's just a bland life.
Yeah, I agree. I think
it's interesting because this is my engagement, I guess, message, and it's about breakups and being okay with letting go. But the reason why I chose it was because it got me to here. All of the heartache, all the looking and all that stuff. And I know this is more of like a serious topic instead of like positive, like love, like all that stuff. Like, but it's just, I know from the outside looking in, sometimes people can see us as getting married, engaged, wedding shopping, bridesmaids. I wish I was there. How do I get to that? And that's why I wanted to give this message.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think your message is really highlighting the beauty in finding your person.
Yeah.
And I think we're just being real, and that sometimes it's not perfect. Like it may seem like I think it took you, and I'll say me, like time to find this beauty. Yeah. Like it wasn't just we woke up and we're like, woo, like, you know, this is my person, and like, woo, we're getting married. Like there definitely was a journey and lots of crops to water and until you see the full garden.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, I think this is a really, really good message. And I think, like I said, you're really showing the whole picture of what the garden looks like right now and how it got to look like that.
I love that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for clicking on this episode, everyone. And if you can relate to this, please comment down below or like this video or share this with a friend. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So wherever you listen or tune in, check us out there.
Yeah. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Wish You Love Pod. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for our next episode. And above all else,
we wish you love.
Bye, friends.